Welcome to Piper Unplugged, and I am Piper. We are on the road right now in Arlington, Washington, heading towards the border. Yes, back to Vancouver. We spent close to 6 days now. We're on the 6th day. We went from Vancouver to Forks, Washington, and then Forks to Seattle for a little bit, and now heading back home. Yes. It was quite the trip. But it is mostly so while... Whoops. So good. Why did it just jump like this? Oh, give me a moment. Okay, so cool. Perfect, I got it. Okay. So it was mostly so when we came to the States, so it had been about what? Guys, tell me if the sound is good, if the video is good. I can see everything, but you never know. So it had been about a few months since we had been to the States. The last big trip we had done was going to Hollywood and then back, and that took us like 19 days, and that was a wonderful trip. But the thing is, since then we had only done Canada. Yeah, only Canada. Hey, Dr. Astrophysics. Hi, thanks for tuning in. And so, of course, there's many different things. By doing just Canada, we mostly done British Columbia, which is the province we live in. But then we've also done a little bit of Alberta. We went to Calgary once and then crossed in Alberta for the Tesla superchargers to come back. Instead of going completely off the grid with the Tesla superchargers in the northern British Columbia. So that's what we did. But we hadn't been in the States since like since May, and now we are in August. Yeah, mid-August. It was quite fascinating to be here because it made us realize a lot of things. And I don't know if it's local to Washington or just the places we were in, but it seems like the cost of living is really high in the US. And I'm saying this like compared to Canada. And it's kind of the first time that I realized that because, well, of course, Canadian dollar, let's not talk about that right now. Canadian dollar to US there is a big difference right now. But if we're just comparing like apples with apples, if I go to a grocery store and I want to buy something, or if I go to the restaurant and I buy some food, then how much more expensive is it here than Canada? Like for the exact same price tag, let's call it like that. Let's not put in the conversion or anything. Because, yes, it's expensive. So where are you from, Dr. Astrophysics? Are you in the US? And if you don't mind, like where in the US? Because a McValue meal in Canada, we were just at McDonald's and that's when it all flashed, and that's why we decided to do this live. Is $5 Canadian, a McValue meal. In the McValue meal you have the McDouble, you have a small beverage and, well, pop mostly, or like iced tea, and you have, well, the fry. So that's what you get for $5 Canadian, and it's logged in at $5 Canadian. So that's pretty good. You live in the US in Kansas City. Interesting. So yeah, how did you find, or how do you find it's expensive? Like, what's expensive? Everything? Or more like, I mean, food is more expensive, your rent, because rent can't go up like a lot more, right? Unless you just are trying to find a place, then that's different. But if you've been there for a while, then it had to kind of keep its own going up price. Inflation, and there's a cap for that, so that's a bit different. But when you're looking for a new place, if they just renovated and all that, of course they can just put pretty much almost any price tag they want, as long as they find a renter or buyer. So yeah, we were there at McDonald's, and in that one was in was it called Mill Creek? The place we were at? Well, and the McValue meal over there is $6 USD. So that is more than in Canadian for sure. It's a McDouble you get a small fry, you get a small beverage, but you also get 4 chicken McNuggets, which, I mean, you don't have in the McValue meals in Canada. No, you don't have. It's an extra $2.99 for 4 McNuggets and a sauce. Same US dollars, $5 here. What do you mean, Snoopy? You mean like, so your McValue was $5, McValue meal? Well, this is interesting because, yeah, why was it? I was so confused. So we went to the thing, you know, the thing where you order the dashboard, the big iPad, and yeah, it was like, it was $6 was the minimum that you could buy. There was one at $7. That was the burger that had lettuce and tomato in it. Then there was a spicy McChicken. I think that one was also $6. And there was just a normal McChicken and then a McDouble, and those were all priced like a bit differently, but that was the McValue meal. And of course the meal, right? I'm not talking about just the burger, because that usually you can get, I think it was under $3. So that's a bit different. But it just feels like, wow, that's expensive. Like, and that's supposed to be the McValue meal. and that's already expensive. All the other stuff, like just going to the grocery and buying a steak, or going to the grocery buying a salad. I mean, even cheese, we were looking at cheese sticks, and some of them, of course, that's better cheese. Some was $3.99, like for a whole bunch of cheese sticks.
The cheap one.
The cheap one, yeah, the cheap one was $3.99, like the house brand. But the other one was like more like close to $8-9. So this is, and it's not that much food, and that's always the thing, right? How much are you really getting for the money? There's all this thing about food getting smaller and the price not changing. Yeah, the amount of food you get for that price is just leaner, smaller box and all that. Okay, so here we are. SC Runner says anything good. Snoopy says same price. Well, interesting. So it's the same price. It's $5 USD for a McValue meal. In which state are you though? Because we're in Washington right now, and that's what I saw at the McDonald's. And then motel costs. Yeah, that was an interesting thing. Thank you, Marsh, for love the video and energy. At McDonald's, that's from Snoopy. The motel cost is quite different, actually, quite different. In British Columbia, of course, when we started road tripping for the channel, we were like, thought that we were gonna get some motels for like $50. But no, that time is long gone, like really long gone. You don't get motels for under like $100 is very hard. The cheapest we got was in Calgary, and no, it was in Stampede. So we were able to get it for 78 Canadian dollars, and it was a pretty big room. It didn't have a kitchenette. It had a fridge, and that was it. Yeah, a fridge and a big area, like a very big room that could sleep, but only two. It had a couch. Yeah, so that was $78 Canadian. That's the lowest we found. We saw some that were closer to like, but we're two. That's something. Yeah, some motels, they do special price when you're just one. You can get maybe like $20 off or something like that. So we were able at one point to see some motels that were advertising for $68, and then if you were alone, it was like $58. That was again near. That was northern Alberta, and yeah. If not, a motel in general in Canada so far, from what we've where we've been, what we've done, it's close to $120. Like even $100 for a motel Canadian is pretty rare. It's more closer to 120. And I've got some numbers, so don't worry guys, I'll give you some of the numbers. Because, yeah, all the trips we've done in Canada so far have cost us a lot less just in general for hotel costs and all that. Meaning for hotel costs, like per day, yeah, we could go for something, I think the round number is it's close to $130, $120 a night. That's for Canada and motels. Of course, I'm not talking about hotels. A real hotel here in Canada, that of course is way closer to $200 a night, $250 also. If you're going tourist areas, of course that's more expensive and all of that. But the interesting part is that we were in the US, right? And so we needed a motel for a few nights. We stayed in one in Squim, that place, Washington. And then we stayed in Forks for 2 nights. And then we decided to stay in Seattle for 2 nights. For Squim, we actually were looking for a motel, and there's a lot that weren't available. Like there's no vacancy, it was full. I know we left on a Saturday, so I understand it's kind of weekend vibes and all that. But yeah, we didn't find anything. And so did we leave on Saturday or did we leave on Monday? Sunday. I thought we left on Sunday.
Yeah,
we left on Sunday. Okay, so we left on Sunday, and so it wasn't weekend price for the motels. Usually motels like have weekend price for Friday, Saturday. And it was, when we went in Squim, it was $150 for a motel room. I mean, there was a kitchenette, but he upgraded us. I think it's just because that one had vacancy, and so he did upgrade us, and that was nice of him. And he removed the taxes for us because we asked politely, and we said we'd give a 5-star Google review. so we got the taxes off.
It was $16.
Yeah, it was $16 the taxes. So we got it for $150 USD, a small motel in Squim, for 1 night. And then we arrived really late that night. So that's kind of like, that's a lot of money for a lot of people. Now, Dr. Astrophysics says in the Midwest, the cheapest motel is about $80. Maybe $70 if you book it ahead of time. Yeah, of course, if you book ahead, sometimes you can get some pretty good deals. I did that a few times. Here in Canada, I went on Priceline. And Priceline, that was interesting. That's how I got a few of those low price. Now it depends where we're at though, because some motels, like if you're in remote areas or in very like far away areas, I mean, some motels are not even listed on Google. Like they're not. They don't care about Google. They're doing their own thing, and so you won't see them listed anywhere. And not just Google, like they won't be on Trivago, like you said, Snoopy. So it's no Trivago, no Priceline, no Booking.com. I mean, none of those sites, because they don't put their motels there. They're motels, so they try to keep it super under the radar. Maybe you can pay cash, I don't know. but some of them really are kind of against the system. This family owned, and they don't care about the Google reviews, and they don't want you, like, they have the price they have, you're passing by, you need it, so you just pay that price and that's it. So yeah, we've seen some pretty steeper prices. Yeah, because even though if you reserve in advance of time, if you can do that, and if the motel is really there, then great. But for the type of content we do, with the Piper Unplugged channel, YouTube channel, if you're not subscribed, subscribe now. It really helps, like, for us to get people subscribed, because then we can get more sponsors, more affiliation, we could just have more brand deals and things like that, and that's going to help us monetize the channel since it's not monetized yet, but we're working on it with subscribers and also with our watch time hours. So thank you for listening, because that helps with the watch time hours. The whole point is that I don't usually reserve in advance. If we reserve, it's like a few hours before, because we're like, okay, we know we're gonna go there, we want to see, we go on the internet and we check it out. Is there a room available? Is it a thing? Because it happened to us many times that we went somewhere and there was no more availability, like, so we have to go to the next town or something like that. That has happened. Or we have to come back to where we were because there's nothing left. And so that brings me back to when we arrived in Forks. So that was the second day of the trip, and we were shooting all of the episode for Piper Unplugged in Forks, Washington. So we had to stay there because not staying there would mean doing back and forths for like 40 minutes of driving, and that's just way too long. But in Forks there was kind of like this, I don't know, monopoly of motels, mostly all Indian owned by the same guy. And there was no vacancy nowhere. It was really hard, so we arrived and we went to, I think it was almost like 5 motels, because there's no hotels, there's only motels, and then if not you have to go further down to La Push or places like that. There was some campsites, but we don't camp, so I'll get over that later. But so we were there and there's no more vacancy nowhere. But this guy, Indian guy, he said, okay, I might have something, but it's not finished, we haven't listed them yet. I was like, okay. So he told me on the phone, because we were at this motel, and the lady there just passed me kind of the manager, which was this guy on a cell phone. So he said it was $250 a night, and it's kind of like this. It's kind of an RV, but not an RV, because it's a real house. But it's like these long houses that are like
mini maison.
Yeah, small, tiny homes, but elongated. So it's more like an RV home. And those homes are on wheels, like when they're built, they're moved and they put there. So that's what they was. And so it was like $250 a night. And that's $250 US. For I know it's new, but like it's a small town. It's Forks, but everybody said everything was full. And it's funny because it kind of fills up, yeah, in the night, but it doesn't feel full. That's why it's weird. This town is weird. Well, so yeah, we don't know if it's a whole like motel mafia and it's all bullshit, or if it's really full. No idea. But we ended up saying no to the $250 because this is way too expensive. $250 a night. I mean, and then that's when you start thinking, oh my god, like you start thinking in Canadian, like $250 a night USD with a 1.4 exchange rate. I mean, this is crazy. So decided to just go and look at another one. So we went back and looked at another one, and that one I called because there's no one at the front desk. And guess who I got? The same guy. The same Indian guy. And he was like, well, he said like it wasn't him, kind of tried to do it, but I was like, no, that's you. But he lowered the price. So he made us visit one of the places. We were there right now, so it was a mile down the road. We were there, he made us visit. It was nice. It still smelled like fresh paint and fresh everything. It was really new. Like nobody had been in there ever. Everything was new, but there was no propane. So all the kitchen and all that stuff couldn't be used. They had all the cutlery and utensils and all that stuff though. So I guess that's nice. But the thing is, so we were like, okay, how much? And then he was like $225. I was like, okay. And we kind of had no choice because we had to stay there and we had not reserved. And we didn't think there was so many people that were kind of passing through in Forks or whatever. Because not everybody's there for Twilight. I mean, there's really a lot of camping and other stuff going on, hiking. So this is what we ended up renting. So that cost us like, okay, he gave us a $25 discount, but $225 per night? That's $450. I know. So that's like, I hate when they ask for high deposits. Oh well, we didn't ask for a deposit. Some motels I find, not all of them, but rarely ask for a deposit. So that has happened to me sometimes, but not all the time, which is interesting. The motels are interesting and I love them a lot. So that's what happened. We stayed there. That happened to be a pretty expensive kind of trip, and then it's the US, so we had prepared all this food and all that stuff to save, right, on restaurants and things like that. But since we decided to come to the US to film Piper Unplugged, well, we can't cross the border with all that food, right? So we didn't bring any of it, and we were like, oh, we'll just go shop and grocery at a grocer, and then we'll do that and it's gonna be fine. But it happens that we kind of got to Squime and bought a few things, and then decided, oh, we'll try an American diner, and then the next day try it again because we didn't like the diner that we went to the first time. We haven't had a good diner experience so far, unfortunately. It's too bad because I'm sure there's many. It just didn't end up that way. And so it ended up costing us a lot of money on food. And even at the grocery store, some things were quite steeped. And it was like, wow, why is this so expensive?
Like a can of Pringle.
Yeah.
The same price
Yeah.
as Canadian.
It's true, the can of Pringles is the same price as Canadian, but it's US, right? So for us, it is more expensive. So if it would be cheaper to like put in this currency conversion, then it would make sense. But no, not at all. So yeah, that was the motels so far in the US where we were as expensive as a real hotel with like a pool and everything. We went to Quesnel in northern BC. I mean, this cost us like $300 a night, right? And you have the pool, you have included breakfast. I mean, you have all these things, and you have probably a Holiday Inn or a La Quinta or something that is like a Best Western, a Hampton. I mean, you're in those kind of hotels. We're not talking Fairmount or anything, but still, you're in a real hotel with stuff, included, amenities and things like that. And in a motel, you don't have that. There's an ice machine. There's probably a kitchenette, which is nice if you want to cook. That's perfect. We have all our gear to cook in the tailgate kitchen and all that. But I mean, wow, when your motel costs as much as the hotel, that's where it starts being, well, what's the point, right? I mean, I'm gonna go for $20 more. Sometimes it's a bit weird because for like $20 or $50 more even a night, I'll get a pool and a jacuzzi. Like, I'll go there and I'll go dip myself in the jacuzzi. So that's a bag of chips, $7. Yeah, I know, exactly, right? A bag of chips, $7. US, and for us, US. So that is, multiply that by 1.4. Like, this is like crazy. So this, and it's chips. Like, it's not even, well, it's filling food, but it's not like great food. It's not like a pack of meat, right? Or like some eggs or something. So this is just very expensive I feel like for nothing, but I understand that everything is more expensive, so everybody needs more money, and that includes the people who rent out rooms, for sure. So the motels have to also pay their salaries, the housekeepers, all these people. Okay, just having a sip. This is the worst sippy cup ever. This is a McDonald's sippy cup, and it's really bad. It's very weird. You know, there's some stuff you're like, doesn't work. I have like my Yeti sippy cup. I know I'm not one of these cup girls. Don't worry. But I bought this because I had a water bottle, but I had to open it to drink, and the hole was pretty big. So it's cool when we like go and put in a backpack. But when we're in the car, I feel like, it always does this. And I was like, oh no, there's no way. Every time I was drinking, I was scared for my teeth and for like maybe drowning in my own water. So I bought like this because it's a little sippy cup, and this is actually a great angle. It's a great sippy cup angle, so I like it. But I don't drink like 5 liters of water a day. Don't worry, I'm not carrying around a baby of water. No, this is so weird. I just wish I had more time to enjoy hotels' amenities. Well, it is true, right? It depends. Sometimes you get in really late. Okay, so the thing is, when we were in Forks, we rented this kind of house thing, for $225 a night. And well, we were there a little bit, but we were going in and out. So we stayed 2 nights. So that's 1 full day, right? And we arrived pretty early. It was maybe noon-ish when we arrived in Forks. So by 1, we had the room, which is cool because like usually they could have made us wait till 4, but there's nobody there. There's not even like a kitchen table. They moved us to another one that had a kitchen table. Good, because we had to work. So I need to put my computer somewhere. But yeah, if not, if like in Squime or things like that, when we're just passing through, usually you arrive at the motel, and it's fairly late. So far, I've seen that most motels get packed around maybe 7 p.m. Because people now really need to stop, you know, and go eat and then sleep and get out in the morning. And same thing for the morning. In the morning at 7 o'clock, I mean, usually there's half the cars are already gone. Like people are either on the road working or they're on vacation, so they have to get to where they have to get. So that I've seen so far. Is that, yeah, you don't really enjoy the motel, right? It's really only to sleep. So you're paying this like $200, sometimes $150 a night, when you're actually really spending like maybe 12 hours is too much. I don't think you actually spend 12 hours at the motel. In general, I think most people, yeah, don't. They might spend what? From like, yeah, okay, 8 to 8 would be like 12 hours. But it's not, so you're never spending 24 hours, right? I know it's like check in at 4 and then check out 11, maybe, sometimes 10, depending, yeah. So you're paying just for that, for sleeping, shower, and then that's it. Park your car, pretty much. Hi, Piper from Peru. Well, hello. We just use the bed. Yeah, some people use the bed. Yeah, what were you gonna say? No?
Road trip in Peru.
Road trip in Peru. Yeah, well, we are in Burlington, Washington right now because we're driving, moving. Yeah, some people just use the bed in motels, and they also invite somebody else over there, and that's a thing. So when
that's why they always ask.
Yes.
Just two people.
How many people? Yeah, just two. What type of bed you want? Yeah, because they have some variety.
Are you gonna invite friends over?
They want to know because they're gonna charge you more.
I don't understand why they charge more for just the same bed. That I don't know.
They charge more for the same bed? You mean for more people or for the bed?
For more people. If you're more people,
yeah,
you pay more.
Yeah, more people you pay more. It's per head, sorta. Yeah, not per bed. which is funny. Road trip would be cheaper in Canada. Well, yeah, this is what I'm getting at. So far from our experience here, I'm not gonna count Seattle because in Seattle we decided to go to the Fairmount, and that is just a hotel that is quite expensive in general. We didn't go to the Four Seasons though, so I mean we did save on that. One night at the Four Seasons or 2 nights at the Fairmount, and we took it was great because we took like a King Deluxe suite, so you get a sofa, which is nice, and it had the view. The Fairmount Olympic is a really nice hotel in Seattle. Which one we did? We did the Statesman, yeah, at one point. That one's closer to the market. It was nice, but didn't have a bar or anything. The Fairmount has a really cool bar. Last time we went, it wasn't there, but now it's there in the middle, like of the lobby, and it's great. It's hard to find a place, but yesterday we were there until like too late. So that's why probably my throat doesn't sound the same as usual. But it was, hey Joachim, thanks for tuning in. Everything's great. Yeah, so we were at the Fairmount, so that doesn't really count. I mean, it counts, yes, in hotel prices. It was about $467 USD a night. That's 2 nights, and that's, yeah, in US. Plus like valet parking for the car. They did plug it, so that's also a nice addition. I love when they do that. So we do a little bit of everything, and it has cost just a lot more in the US for motels than in Canada so far. And we haven't done, like, when we came in in April, and we did like all the coast and went down. Some hotels and motels were cheap, other ones were not. I mean, the longer you stay, of course, the more you get deals, but like the ocean front, that one was like 120 USD, and that was like a star and a half. And you still pay that still cost us close to 200 Canadian dollars, and you're like, wow. The view was nice, but not the view in the room. And like the bed was sticky, right? You remember the bed sheets? They put like this cheap sticky thing to protect the mattress, and we just kind of woke up stuck to the sticky stuff. To the plastic, and just like moved around in the night.
Even in Twilight City, it was not that comfortable.
Yeah.
When we went to we felt so like in paradise.
It's so true. Yeah, and that's the thing too. It's like a motel. Usually, people don't invest that much money in the bedding and in the like they give you 2 huge pillows that have like. They're just so dense that you can't squish them, and you only have 2. You don't have 4 or 5 pillows. No, just 1 each, or like one like 2 pillows per bed kind of thing. So if you get 2 separate beds, that's great because you get like more pillows and stuff. Sometimes we do that when it's the same price because you get more bedding, and it helps with comfort in motels. Because usually it's just like a thin sheet, right? Then you have this sort of polar. What was it called in English? Like synthetic type of like little cover, and then you have the really not comfortable thing they put on top, and that's your bed sheets. That's the 3 of them together, and that you're supposed to be okay with that. And it gets like really hot because it's like synthetic, so it's kind of you get really hot in the middle of the night, and you sweat a lot. So yeah, that I don't really like. No bed bugs, no bed. So far, like all the motels we stayed in, it's pretty clean. Like when you pay $100 a night, I mean, like I said, we've seen a few, very little, that were underneath $100 a night, and some of them that we saw, 2 in particular, I would have not stayed there even though it was $68. Like this is not a good idea. They look like crack houses or stuff like that. So no, but seriously, all the motels we stayed in for about, like I said, 100, 120 a night. In Canada, in the US, I mean, of course it's more like, it's a motel. So when you rate motels, you can't take the same as a hotel rating. So your 5 stars on motels shouldn't be the same 5 stars as hotels. You can't rate on the same thing, they're not the same thing. But some we stayed in were definitely 2 stars motels, so that gives you an idea. Usually it's just very old, and so they try to clean as much as they can, but I mean, parts of the floor are gone, so you can't clean that. There's a hole. So that's just what I have to say about kind of all that stuff. Yeah, is it broken? Is this Harley Davidson broken? Guys in Harley Davidson, they're always on the side of the road, broken. So yes, no like crazy dirty stuff or nothing like that. Seriously, no. A motel is a motel. You can't expect a hotel. But like we were saying, then when we booked the Fairmount in Seattle and we went there, it was like, wow, you got AC, you got heat, and it works. It works because a lot of motels, sometimes they say that there's AC or heating, but it doesn't really work.
Oh, it makes a lot of sound.
Oh yeah, it makes a lot of sound. Or it's like right in your face, right? So the bed is right near it, and you just get all this in your face throughout the night. So that's not great. So that was a thing when we were at the Fairmount. Then of course the comfort of the bed. It's like a king deluxe bed. It's huge. That was a huge bed. You get like 2 pillows, 2 king size pillows each, plus 2 bigger pillows that are just kind of nice pillows. But you can use those, I mean, before you go to bed to read or to look at stuff, or for us to work with our computers. You can just like put 3 pillows behind you and be very comfortable in a sort of more sitting position in the bed. It doesn't rock. It's very stable, which is great. And just the covers, right? It's real thick covers. The stuff you usually have home, that's the stuff. Research area, that's the stuff that was there. And so yeah, we're gonna buy the Fairmount pillows. They were like real duvet. Yeah, this is the best pillows ever, and we're due for some pillows. When your pillows start to be yellow, you're like, okay, I have to change them now. So we're gonna buy the Fairmount pillows, but we heard they were actually made in Canada when we looked it up. So we're gonna buy them in Canada. And the king size, that's the funny thing. A lot of people don't have the right pillows for their bed. Well, it's not right pillows for the bed, but there is actually pillow sizes with bed sizes. That's the whole point. So a king size bed usually has these long rectangle pillows, and then a queen size has kind of a little bit longer but more normal type pillow. And then when you have like a twin or these children bed, this is a smaller pillow. This really, the pillows goes with the size of the bed, so that it doesn't look empty, right? If you have these small pillows on a king size that are from like a twin bed, well, it's gonna be tiny. I'm not saying that you might not prefer to sleep with those. That's fine. I have like 2 different pillows. I have a small one and a really long one. One is for like between my boobs. Yeah, I love that pillow. And then the other one is just like to go on top. Some people sleep with 1 pillow, I get it, but I really love 2 pillows. Yeah, 2 pillows, and the bed was so comfortable. And it's kind of like, it's a weird fluff because it's a dense and mushy fluff. So at the same time, it's kind of at one point it's mushy, but then at one point you stop going down in it, and it's not too hard. Because some pillows, wow, this is hard. It's really hard. So yeah, well, all of this to say that it was wonderful to be at the Fairmount compared
the
to
usual motel that we love so much.
Compared to the usual motels. But they serve different purposes. I really like motels because usually, yeah, you are near the car, right? So a motel, you park the car and your door is right there and your car is right there, so you can get in and out. It's also very outdoorsy. A motel is very outdoorsy. You have like all the doors there. You can usually talk to your neighbors. Okay, there's no bars, so you talk to your neighbors with your can of whatever. Bud Light while they smoke a cigarette. And you're like sitting outside and talking to people. Then we can cook outside if it's nice. That's what we do. Sometimes there's picnic tables, stuff like that. So you can definitely cook there. And well, we film with the car. So the Tesla Model X is with us all the time. And I like having it there. Hey Panico, thanks for being there. So the Tesla Model X is with us, and I really like that. So when we're on the road and we're shooting, not just motel, but when we go road tripping, I feel like I don't need a Best Western. I don't need a real hotel for really just getting to where I need to go. Because usually, like I say, we stay there to sleep and take a shower, and then we're gone. But when we spend some days editing, or we are doing like all of this content for all of my other platforms and all that stuff, well then I really like to be somewhere nice that has good internet, good AC, so that I could concentrate on working a lot more. So it's more like being at home. And that's why the Fairmount was chosen at the end of the trip, so that we could really like gather all the content we had made, start editing it, post things online. And that for us makes just a lot of sense. But for getting somewhere, motels are awesome. And motel, I mean, it has something that's great. And that's why I find that it's really bad that some are closing down and that it's like getting really expensive to go to a motel. That's kind of sad. Yeah, because the whole point of motels is that, right? Is this kind of weird road economy. They all started when the cars started being a thing and people started road tripping and vacationing. And then tents, okay, you can still go camp. I mean, that's the next thing I want to a first floor motel has that benefit. Yeah, and we always try to get the first floor, for sure. If I'm staying at a motel, why would I go second floor? It's way better to have the car near. I love that. So that I think is kind of bad that motels are getting so much more expensive, and that sometimes the price point between a hotel and a motel is almost nothing, that somebody wouldn't pay for, I guess, when they're on vacation or something like that. So I find that sad. But at the same time, I mean, the whole point of this show that I'm doing right now is to talk about the real costs and how much more expensive it is getting. So unless you go camping, I mean, it is expensive. And even I'm sure camping has been more expensive. Do you guys camp? Like, have you camped? Because we haven't. And I'm not planning on camping this is just way too complex to do the type of content that we're doing right now. But if like a campsite in British Columbia is about $35 without power or nothing, I mean, and in the US it's about $35, I don't know, maybe that's what it is. Well, then again, you have the same issue. Whereas with the currency conversion is supposed to be kind of cheaper to be the same price, right? And so that's what I find interesting about this whole, this whole economy and where we're at right now. Because of course some of the parks and things like that have sometimes steeper prices, and you need to reserve and all that stuff. That we came across a few, but the campsites were full. I mean, and I get it. Like, why you go thrift shopping now? So why would you rent a motel if you don't have the means? And if you already have the gear, if you had the gear for a long time, all of your gear, well then I guess camping is not that expensive in the end compared to motel. And the big thing with motel is that, yeah, maybe some people though, they kind of rent out their vacation a lot prior to doing it, which for us is really not a thing, since we just like get on the road, leave and do it. Sometimes, like I said, we have reserved, but it's usually like on a same day basis, because we want to be somewhere for like 2 days, so we'll just do it for 2 days. Hey, there I am. It says everywhere that we're live. Live. Yeah, the car is live. Hey, Gwen Dole. Dr. Astrophysics says, went camping about 3 years ago in Texas. Basic cabin $30 and basic cabin with window AC $50. What do you mean? Cabin? So you went camping in a cabin? So you rented a little cabin? Because like what we have was really like a little house, so I guess that's why it was $250. And 3 years ago, I mean, I'm not sure the prices would have changed that much. 3 years is not that long. Yeah. $333 a day. I don't make that in a week. Well, yeah, sorry about that, RPG King. I mean, it depends, right? But that's the thing. So far in the US, the average cost, I'm not going to count the Fairmount in that, but the average cost of us staying in a motel in the US is $333 a night, compared to in Canada, which is closer to $120. So it's a huge difference. Like it's double. But when I say 333 a day, I mean Canadian, of course. So I'm counting in Canadian dollars. But it's really enormous. This is like, because this is how I calculate for Piper Unplugged and for everything we do. I can stay in a real hotel if I want to, but usually a real hotel is going to cost me double of the motel in general. So that's one more night, right? If I do 2 motels for, let's say, $150 each, well, that's probably 1 hotel night. I can do a hotel if I want to. It just depends. Like if we're just passing through and all that, then I don't see why I would do it. I would go to a motel. I prefer that anyhow. And well, I can sleep 1 more night somewhere for the same budget for 1 episode. And that's also the thing. Like if you budget an episode for us, that could cost us, let's say, about $2,000 Canadian for an episode. Depending on how far we need to go, every episode has a different budget. But that means that, I can go longer or stay longer at that place, depending on how I want to finish the video, what I want to implement in it, without breaking budget. And then if I am done quicker and I still have money in the budget, well, then I can go at the Fairmount, or I can go in a better hotel and finish up editing and doing whatever I need to do. So that's all great. Sit Lord Billy, hey, how are you? Do the hotel song. What hotel song?
The hotel on the motel.
Oh, the song in the motel. Oh yeah, that's a good song, yeah. Well, go listen to it. It's on YouTube in all of the videos. Yes, big difference. I gotta go visit Canada. Well, of course, if you're a USD person and you're paid in USD, I mean, right now Canada makes sense.
That's really nice for them.
Yeah, it's really nice for you guys. But also, I just feel like maybe, and I don't know because I'm not an economist, but I feel that from what I've saw so far, I feel like you guys in the US are paying a lot more for a lot of things.
The cost of living.
Yeah, the cost of living seems to be a lot steeper in the US than it is for us in Canada. And I live in Vancouver, which is one of the most expensive place to live in the world. But
After Tokyo.
yeah, after like what is it, Tokyo? So it is like it's expensive, yeah. But at the same time, when I come here, I'm like, wow, this is really expensive. And again, not even talking about currency, just talking about the prices I see on the shelves. And it's like, woo. I mean, the only thing I saw that was a bit similar was the bananas. So I saw bananas, and usually in Canada, it's about like 79 cents or 89 cents a pound. And here I saw them at 69 USD. So I was like, yeah, that could be kind of close to the price of banana. But for the rest, I know you guys have cheaper gasoline. That's the thing, especially in Vancouver. Gas is the most expensive in Canada is in Vancouver. Then I'm not talking about like up north and stuff like that, but like if we're talking big cities. This is that's why there's a lot of Teslas in Vancouver, because gas is very expensive, and well, it's not Europe, but it's still expensive compared to electricity. So we do have a lot of EVs and a lot of Teslas. That's a fair point. Then you guys pay cheaper for gas than us, but in the end, I mean, I'm not sure what your power of buying, as we say in French, is in the US compared to us. Because when I was looking at the salaries, which was very interesting, Washington has a pretty good minimum wage, which is like 17, let's round it up as $17 USD, whereas Vancouver is $18 Canadian. We're rounding it up too. So that means that if I want to buy a McValue meal with 1 hour of work, well, I got it here. Give me a second. In Vancouver, I could buy that makes sense, like 3 McValue meals. I need to find it. Because that was a good calculation. But like in Washington, I could not buy 3. I could only buy, I think, 2.9 or something. Yeah, okay, there it is. So in BC, minimum wage is $18.25 Canadian. So if we take the $6 USD value meal, that means that I can buy 3.6 value meals. And if we go with Washington minimum wage, which is $17.13 USD, you can buy 2.9 value meals per hour of work. I mean, this is not a lot of food for 1 hour of work, for 1 hour of labor. I mean, and 20 states on the federal floor, the minimum wage is $7.25 USD. That's 1.2 McValue meal. So with 1 hour of work, you can only buy yourself a McValue meal. I mean, this is not enough. This is really just not enough. And I have prices too. So for those of you guys who are still here and I want to hear this because it's interesting. So for my own receipts and my own accounts, when we stayed in Hope, British Columbia for 3 days, that cost us $106 per night. Yeah, at the motel. Then in Revelstoke, which is also in British Columbia, that was $133 per night. We stayed 4 nights. Then in Calgary, to get to Calgary, that was 6 days, a total of $151. So per day. And then the last fort, yeah, that one we did it in. So that one we went to Dawson Creek and back. That one was 8 days, and that rounded up to $187 per day. There was a few motels that were a bit more expensive on that end. And then yeah, for Forks, Washington, for coming here with Squime and with just the 2 nights at $225, it's like it cost us $333 a night. So $333, that's like a lot more than all of the Canadian. It's the double. So we have like 106, 133, 151, and then 187. And that's because on the last 4th episode, we stayed more at hotels to plug in the car. Yeah, because there was like no charging. So we did a bit more hotels. And still by doing hotels, we did Best Western 3 nights. And then we did another hotel that was like a special hotel brand from there. And that still rounded us to less than $200 a night with real hotels. And here we did only motels-ish, and that cost us $330 a night. That's Canadian, of course. That's so that you guys can understand, and it's all comparable. You're spending a lot of money. Well, yes, that's the thing, right? When you do episodes or when you shoot content for YouTube, the way we're doing it is just like a movie or like a documentary or like a Netflix series. So we have a budget. We take money that we make from all of our other revenues, just like Piper Blush in general, and then we decide on a budget for an episode. We calculate approximately how long it's going to take us, the shots we need, where we're going to stay-ish, and then, well, we budget it in, So an episode can cost, an episode could cost $200 if it's right next to where we are. Like in British Columbia, we don't have to go sleep there. We just go there and come back, and maybe that was like one motel, and that's good. So that's like a 2-day trip. But if we need to go somewhere that is, let's say, 800 kilometers, because of the idea that we have, well, that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna budget it around that. Again, just like Netflix, just like every movie you see or every show you see, it starts with the idea, and then after, oh, did he lose his mattress? After you get the idea, then you work your way around it. Of course, like, don't worry guys, I'm not putting this on my credit card, like I have the money to do this. But the thing is, though, this channel is not monetized yet, so everything I do right now is really just investing in the channel. And it is true, you've seen probably so many YouTubers talk about this. It's very expensive to shoot. It's not true that you can just like, you can go and do it with your iPhone and do some content. I do that all the time for Instagram. But still, I mean, you have to get to the place, you have to do it. So yeah, there is a big cost to that. And when you're, let's say, self-investing, so when you're taking your own money and putting it back into a project, it takes a while to be monetized too on YouTube. Right now we are at about 1,100 hours. We need 4,000 hours to be monetized on YouTube, and they're gonna change. I think they're gonna double the hours you need to get monetized on YouTube, because there's so many people who are posting, and now with AI content and all that stuff, I mean, there's so much, and you just need to post so much more to get monetized, but at the same time, you're crowding the platform more because you need to post more. So it's a bit complex, but like, sounds like you're spending 20 grand. Well, in total, probably, yeah, that's probably what I'm going to be spending in a year. Yeah, 20 grand to start a channel. Like, I've seen some guys who have invested like way more than that on starting their channels before there was even monetized or anything. That's why we need subscribers and people to watch, and that's why everything that you do in relation to the Piper Unplugged channel, like the engagement, the commenting, the sharing it with your friends, family, co-workers, I mean, this is great for any content creator that wants to make a living out of this, because I'm not making a living out of this YouTube channel right now. I'm investing in it so I can make a living with it later. And those those who really make a living off of YouTube actually don't make a living with YouTube. The ad money is very slim. You need millions and millions of views to get like to a okay ad money standpoint, and most of the videos who get there have a lot of investment behind them. I'm not talking about beer meets food. Beard meets food. I mean, that guy, apart from traveling, like, he doesn't pay his lunch ever because he eats it and then it's free. And then he travels. So some channels are pretty self-sufficient and they cost little to do. I've done a little bit of everything, right? You've seen me on my other channels, but I wanted to do road trips, and yeah, road trips cost money, and I don't want to live in my car. That's not the way I want to do it. So I'm just investing that money into the channel and building it up so that it is self-sufficient at one point, like my other projects. But that's like that for any business. You have to start somewhere. You either go get a loan, or someone gives you a loan, or your parents help you, or whatever. And then at one point, if it's monetized, it's monetized. If it's not, well, you pull the plug. So many of my projects, you have to pull the plug at one point because it doesn't work. I'm not expecting this one to not work. It will work because of everything we've been doing. But this is really just how it works. I've tried a Motel 6. I haven't been in one. Motel 6 or Super 8. But we no, I don't think we've been to Super 8 or Motel 6 yet. Sometimes actually what is interesting with these ones is that they say motel, but when we looked, the cost was very similar to hotels. So they're often more pricey than the motels around them. That's why we haven't been to them. But we have seen some, and we have compared some. Even for motel, you can see them on the road and all that. But no, haven't been in them because, yeah, they were like priced like a Best Western sometime. So didn't see the point in it. Yeah. So, okay, do you guys have any questions for me? Because I talked a little bit about the stuff that I wanted to talk about, of course, and bring up this question. But yeah, we've been traveling since April, on and off. So what we do, and I know it's a bit confusing, we're not always on the road. So what we've decided to do, instead of like leaving the office in Vancouver for like a whole entire year and just being on the road, what we decided to do is to do these trips, right? So that we could maintain everything we have, all the businesses and all the YouTube channels that we have. So what we do is we have the idea for a Pipe Unplugged, we go shoot it, we take the time we need. If it's a week, it's a week. If it's 2 days, it's 2 days. And then we come back to Vancouver, we do like normal day-to-day stuff, and then we plan the next one, and then we leave again. So we do like some back and forths. It's like our home base, or our safe home is kind of like in Vancouver right now, home base, and we always come back to it. And sometimes we could do more than one episode while we're away. That happens. Sometimes we film a Pipe Unplugged, a motel, and then of course many shorts that we do in photos that you can all see on the Instagram. We're also developing an app, that everybody's going to be able to use very soon. We started testing it, but then on this trip, but then it broke. And then, well, we were too busy shooting the actual content, so we're gonna have to get back on that. It's perfect because that was the perfect stress test for the app, because we were here trying to do it, and that's just great, and I can't wait to do more. Also, the glove box is broken. I can't open it anymore.
We need to reboot the car.
We need to reboot the car. There's like this reboot thing that you can do on Teslas. You have to like hold the buttons and press the brake, and that kind of reboots the system. So we're gonna try that. And I had an appointment to retrofit the Tesla, but we left, and I was like, wow, that's in 3 days, so we're gonna cancel it. So we canceled it, and now we're still gonna need to retrofit the Tesla, which is gonna be great once it's done, because that's gonna allow us to plug in anywhere. We even saw a Rivian supercharger when we were in Forks. That was new. I had never seen one like that ever. So that was interesting, but we couldn't plug in those ones because we didn't have, the retrofit for one, and then the adapter for two. But we need those two things. One or the other doesn't work. They need to work conjointly. So that's what happened. So do you have any questions for me on, I don't know, prices, things related to road tripping, anything like that? because we have bought some gear too. We have, what else have we done? We have tried to budget a little bit more because it goes by fast. If you go to a restaurant, if you go to motels that are more expensive and all that stuff. Said Lord Billy, can we do a kind of contest on the channel where we can pick your outfit? That's cute. That's super cute. Well, I don't know how that's related to Piper Unplugged, but that's cool. I mean, it's very Piper Blush experiment, I think. Yeah, more like outfit of the day and stuff like that. That would be more like the old Willie Fair Friday. Cleaning clothes cost. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, true.
That's cool. So what I've ended up doing, since we have this huge Tesla Model X, I bought a big bag, like a bag for dirty clothes, right? Like they have in hotels and stuff, like a really big bag for dirty clothes. And when we left for 19 days, we had to do the laundry then. But usually right now we leave for about 6 days, 7 days a week. And so I don't do laundry. I just put it all in the laundry clothes basket, like in my big pouch. And so I had done laundry one time, and that was in West Hollywood. And that cost me quite a bit, actually. It was like close to... Oh yeah, so just like the gain was $5 US, just like the little bottle of gain.
Let's not count the gain.
Okay, let's not count the gain. And then the washing, I think if I'm not mistaken, it was $3 per load, and that was like we had sort of like, because it's not weight, but it's kind of like, so I think total maybe $10. $10. Plus the gain $15. Yeah, it was like 5 and close to 5 for washing and then drying. So this is definitely a thing. But like I said, we go for so little, like under a week usually, sometimes 9 days. But I just pack enough for that. We had a little underwear issue one time where there wasn't enough. We just went commando the last 2 days. It was fine. And then any insect problems like mosquitoes when traveling. Yeah, there was in Azuzeta there was a few mosquitoes that was bugging.
It's not that bad.
No,
it's really cool.
It's pretty good because we don't really go in the woods, right? And at the superchargers or stuff like that, it's usually very much in the city or close to a city. We have a little zapper that we have in the trunk if we need it, but we haven't needed it. And even in the motels, when we're in motels and when we're outdoor on like a long chair or an Adirondack or something, there wasn't very much that many mosquitoes. Yeah, that hasn't really happened. Or flies even. They've been pretty lucky, I guess, on that. Dirty clothes bag. Yeah, it works really well. I mean, okay, but we have a car, right? It's road tripping and it's very big, and so we have a lot of place. So at one point I was like, I'm not gonna put back the dirty clothes in my my like what is it called? It's like a case, but it's just like a soft case.
Trunk manager.
A trunk manager. Yeah, thank you. Where I put everything, and like every little compartment has the stuff in it. So I have like my clothes, Master's clothes, and then bathing suits, like other random stuff. So I just started like dirty clothes goes in the dirty clothes thing, and then you don't see it, don't think about it. I come back home and I just put everything in the washer. Bam, super easy. Not commando every day. No, not every day. I prefer not every day. But if I need to, I need to. But underwear are really small, so they're easy. Like I just put a lot more now. And t-shirts and things like that. Well, I mean, I'm a girl. My clothes is pretty small. Yeah. And you take like, the thing I've learned to do though is bring a lot of layers, and that has been really good, because when you travel for like 2,000 kilometers, the weather changes so much. Sometimes you're somewhere hot, sometimes you're somewhere cold, sometimes it's just cold in the morning. So we have layers. I brought a little bit of everything. That's really cool. Even is to make your Tesla a washer dryer. Well, actually the Cybertruck has a 240 volt, so you can plug a dryer in a Cybertruck. Yeah. So I could do that if I had a Cybertruck, but the Tesla doesn't do it. I think though, if we get the adapter that takes the electricity out of the Tesla directly, so it can give it back instead of just putting it in, then we could actually.
Where do you take your water from?
Well, yeah, you still need water for the washer. The dryer is kind of easy because that you just need electricity. But yeah, for the washer you need a water outlet, a faucet, something. Yeah, you would need water. Okay, any other questions you guys might have? We're almost getting to the supercharger in 6 minutes, and then I'll leave this to go and get the vehicle ready for the Canadian border, because last time they inspected us, so we were gone for a long time. We were gone for 19 days, and they did a full inspection. So we're just gonna make sure that everything is in order, throw out all the fruits and stuff, and yeah, that way we're good. So I'll wait on the last few questions you might have. But it's kind of easy. I mean, road tripping, it's not like when you travel in a plane, right? And you just have this little suitcase and everything needs to fit, and you need to get stuff out for TSA, and all these things. When you have your car, the only thing that is stressful actually is the fact that the car stays out with all your stuff in it, and that's why I like motels, because your car is like right in front. You can leave stuff in it if you want, but you see, and other people are there. There's a lot of stuff going on, so that I enjoy a lot about motels. Hotels, I mean, of course, if you take valet, parking and things like that, then it's pretty safe too. But if not, if you're just like in a parking and the hotel is there, but there's also other commerce and things like, I don't know, that, yeah, sometimes it's a bit more scary to leave all of your things that you own and that you need for the road trip in the car and then just leave the car. So that we don't do much of. If we need like to go somewhere or to start exploring, usually we empty the car at the motel and then go explore with an empty vehicle. Yeah, especially because the way that this Model X is very open. Yeah, so you can see pretty much everything. There's the trunk and there's the sub trunk that we can put a lot of stuff in, but it definitely doesn't fit all the things we have. Like, that is impossible. We have way too much things. Yeah. So thank you guys for being here. I really enjoyed these live shows. I hope you enjoyed them too. And it's often subjects that just like pop from road trips, from philosophy, from what we've been doing. And if you have ideas, or if you want to talk about a special subject that is related, of course, to road tripping, electric cars and all that stuff, well, make sure that you put in the comment section, because I read all of them. Make sure you engage as well. It really helps grow the channel, and it helps us, at one point be monetized and make this channel happen. And Sitlord Billy says, are you planning to come to Michigan soon? Because we get Comic Cons and you could cosplay Piper. That's a good one. Yeah, that would not cost me a lot of money in clothes, because I already have all of them. But Michigan, yeah, that gets pretty cold, right? So that's the thing. I don't know what we're going to be doing this winter. It's already mid-August. It's going very fast. But like probably not winter stuff, because in the winter you have to shooting outside is cold. It's very cold, and even like and even supercharger and stuff. So in the winter we're gonna go south if we go anywhere. But we've done California a little bit, but just a little bit. We could do more. And then there's also, there's Texas, there's Missouri, there's Mississippi. Yeah, well, those places like New Orleans, Florida. All of the bottom, really. New Mexico, even Utah. There's a lot of places that stay warm, right? So we can't wait for that. Lori says, surely you can get a transformer unit to supply main voltage to your car battery. Oh yeah, you can actually get I could get like a generator and just plug a gas generator into my electric car. Or I could get just a very big battery and plug it into my car, and that can charge. Actually, the little battery that I have, I can plug my car in, but that's supposed to give me only 2 to 5 kilometers. So this is not a lot. Thanks, Lord Billy. Yeah, so that's that. We're almost close to the border, which is great. The supercharger is like right next to the border. So we're gonna go supercharge, then we're gonna cross the border, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you guys. Have fun.